Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's me, R Squad 911, back again with another Ghostbusters Haslab 2 in the box Ghost Trap DIY video. Today is something pretty cool. We are going to be taking off this Haslab factory vector plate and replacing it with this Dragon Workshop aluminum plate. The factory one is made out of plastic, and this new one here is made out of machined aluminum. And yeah, you can get this on Dragon Workshop Chris's Etsy store. And here it is. It's a little shinier than I expected. I expected it to be kind of like a matte shot peened. I'm not sure exactly what the finish is called, but just like a matte finish versus this polished finish. But it does have a pretty cool effect. This machining lines here kind of gives it, not sure if you can see it on camera, kind of like a rainbow effect there. But you won't see that side, it'll be this side. So now that when I put it up to this trap here, it just looks way too clean, way too shiny. Got to figure out a way to just kind of like scuff it up, maybe with sandpaper, so it's not so shiny, and then kind of weather it with some black paint. Because this matches it quite nicely, this color. This is just way too clean. But yeah, that's why it's a DIY. You can do as you please with it. He just provides the parts and then you modify as you see fit. So how do we install this? You're going to need a 2mm Allen key. I have these from my RC car, so it's convenient. It's just a screwdriver and much easier to remove. So actually you're supposed to remove the resistor first. This is an MC250. This is a real resistor. You would do the same when you remove the factory Haslab plastic resistor. You wouldn't remove this one first, I believe. I believe you remove the plate first. I don't remember how it sat in there. I think you have to remove those screws, and then you remove these 4 screws, and it all comes out together. But yeah, because I've already changed this, I've modified it, and I'll get into that in a second. I had to take this off first, and then these 4 screws. But on the factory one, you would just take all 6 screws off, and it should all come off in one piece. Because the resistor actually sits behind this plate from behind. Yeah, and I have a video on that as well, in case you are unsure. But once you get started on this, it's going to become very obvious once you have all the screws off. So now I have those 4 screws off. You're going to pull this off here, and then yeah, the other resistor will sit in there. And then you pull that out from behind, and then you're left with this plate. And then, because mine is modified, there's this peg here that actually juts out about, I don't know, about 10mm more than this. And what you're going to have to do is just take some snips or a little saw and just cut that flush in line with these screws here. So when this is on there, this resistor can still screw into the holes there, but sit on that and it doesn't fall inwards. Some people like to have it kind of sticking out a little bit more, but I don't mind it sitting flush. It looks pretty good like so. Yeah, so you still have to trim it when you get this vector plate because obviously there's no cutout there. And when you sit this on, it's not going to sit flush, so you'd have to cut that as well and then place that on there like so. All right, and then if you do want to get these resistors, you can get it with this vector plate from Dragon Workshop, or you can purchase from Charlesworth Dynamics or from Ghostwalker Design, and that's where I purchased this one from, only because I was combining shipping and ordering a bunch of other stuff from them, so it just made more sense. But yeah, this is how it's going to sit. You're going to take your screws there. You're just going to line it up. Make sure that these holes are lined up with here, because if you put it this way, it's not going to line up. So just be conscientious about that. So we're going to line up the one screw. We're not going to tighten it all the way, but you don't want it to like kind of flail like that either. Charles Wood Dynamics also sells these vector plates, but his aren't pre-drilled. Doesn't line up perfectly, so I'm fighting it a little bit to find center there. So that's why you got to do all these loose. I'm just going to loosen these up. So you just have a little bit more buffer when you're trying to do this. That's why you don't tighten the screws all the way. Yeah, I got to kind of angle it in. Yeah, that's not going to go. I'm going to try this top right corner. That one lines up. You kind of see this one's kind of going in on a slight angle inward, so I might have to follow that as well. Yep, I have to definitely go in on an angle. Hopefully it doesn't strip the plastic. Now I can tighten these up a little bit. And again, you're tightening it into plastic, so do not go crazy. Just as soon as you feel it stop, you stop. Yeah, ever so slight angle on this head. It's not fully like flat. I can feel it going ramping upwards this way. Same as this one. These two are flat. Yeah, that could just be a matter of me just putting a drill bit through these two holes and just elongating the hole that way slightly, just so it lines up better. And yeah, we're going to install this. And it looks like those screw holes are completely misaligned. Not sure if you guys can see that. But this hole here is halfway into that hole. And this hole is maybe 3/4 of the way into that hole here. So this one lines up slightly better. If I put the screw in it, it's definitely going to elongate the hole or maybe just completely mess up the hole entirely. This one is going to be no way that's going to go in. So let's see what we can do. Yeah, that's, oof, that, I can feel it biting hard there. This one, yeah, that one's not going to go at all. So let's try loosening these up a little bit. Maybe we can get some better alignment. Nope, it does not budge at all. So it needs to go, this hole needs to be up about 2 millimeters, and this one needs to be down to the left about 1.5 millimeters. So yeah, I am right now not willing to force the screws into there. Yeah, so hopefully you guys don't have that issue with yours when you get it. But when it does line up, it would look like this. And without this being weathered, it kind of looks a little out of place. I'm kind of right now preferring the Haslab piece over this. But I mean, with a little bit of weathering, you should be fine. Or if you get the new plates from, I think it's GB Fans. But a little bit disappointed on that. It might be just mine. Others might have no issues at all with alignment, but you can see here I can't even put the screwdriver there. This one won't even go through either. And I'll demonstrate that when I take this plate off. But I think if it does fit, it will look good, especially when you weather it. And it is actual metal. It'll match the metal parts here. I think that's plastic, but this plate here is actual metal. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. But yeah, you can see here the screwdriver fits right into that hole there and fits right into that hole there. Once I have this put on, and there's only one way to put this on. You can't put it this way. Then the holes won't line up at all. It has to go one way. Um, yeah, it might be a matter of just opening up these holes too, drilling them bigger, so it will line up with it. But I guess I will do that off camera and see. So yeah, if you want to bear with me, I'm going to go get my drill bit set. I'm going to try to open these things up and get it to line up onto here. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. I've decided that I am not going to drill the vector plate because actually sitting there and thinking about it, if I did elongate that hole, that screw is not going to sit center in the machined circle that is in there. So I am going to reach out to Dragon Workshop and see what we can do about this. But yeah, I'm going to end this video for now. I'm going to start my other DIY video on one of his other products, but I will update this video later on and see yeah, what we can get done about this, because I'm really not willing to force a screw in there and completely destroy the, let's see, I'll show you guys the screw peg or shaft in there in case I ever want to revert back to this, because it's just going to completely, the screw will sit, once they go right through one of the side walls on that, and that's what I do not want. So I'll probably just be putting this thing back on and yeah, and live with that. And not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but I will update you guys and let you guys know. So yeah, let me know if you guys have received this, if you guys had that sort of issue. It could be just a slight, I don't know, misalignment issue, or either from machining, or maybe not all Haslab traps are made the same, right? So there's going to be some variances, but this piece lines up perfectly. Let me try putting it on this way. It's hard to do that because there is this little peg that sits there. Yeah, if I put the plate on top, it's like ever so slightly off. But with this, it's a much harder calculation to do. But what I do want to try is to try to put a screw through this onto the plate. Maybe it just screws onto the plate. Nope, it doesn't. I thought maybe it would screw onto the plate and then we don't even have to worry about screwing it into the peg. You just get shorter screws, right? But that is not the case there. And yeah, the holes are big enough that you can use a screw to just kind of get your alignment. You can go not left or right, but kind of like angled, because there was some pictures online with the kind of like the resistor sitting kind of like that on an angle when you wanted it to just kind of sit straight like that with the lines. So yeah, that shouldn't be a problem as long as all these holes line up. But yeah, please like and subscribe, comment below. I'm sorry that I couldn't actually get this installed for you guys. I'm not willing to destroy these pegs here for the sake of a video. But yeah, I will update later on and let you guys know how we fare with this. All right, so yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.